I would say that we were just slow to react for whatever reason. And so, that happens some. You have to be able to adjust on the fly. Sometimes you have whole nights that are like that, and those usually don't end well. But, to our guys' credit, they really went up to a different level, I thought, in the second half. And, again, I thought that the one thing that we had in our advantage the whole night was depth.
Well, first off, our intensity got we picked our intensity up in the second half. We just tried to be the more aggressive team and kind of establish that early in the second half.
Brad's halftime speech was a little shorter than usual.
Yeah, he didn't say too much. He was upset, but that's what happens when he expects a lot out of us.
Was that different than usual that he came in and was kind of short?
There's a few times he's done that, but it's good that we reacted the way we did and took it and had a great third quarter.
Celtics smother and stomp on the Grizzlies 116-96. We're going to break it down for you here on the Garden Report, powered by Grandstand on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog.
Yes, I'm the boss.
Welcome to the show. I am Jared Weiss from CLNS Radio, and I'm joined by my man, Josue Pavone.
What's going on,
from
Jared?
WEEI.
Great to be here, man.
Yeah, Pipes Pavone, as I'm calling him now for no reason.
First time I've ever heard about this, Jared. I mean, I wish you told me this before.
All right, we're gonna have to tell the people why you're called Pipes Pavone. That's because you can pronounce Celtic stuff in the deepest, most baritone voice imaginable.
I guess. I mean, this is the first time I've been told this. Like I said, I mean, you're the first one that said this to me. Is this an ongoing nickname of mine that I don't know?
I mean,
about?
I think it's starting now, right?
Is this what people call me behind my back?
It's kind of. I think it's kind of like the Bay Crowder thing, where we talk about it on the show, and a few people, people that tweet us say it enough that we think that everybody says it. So
and
I guess
then
that's
it
the
eventually
truth.
becomes a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we want to expand our world enough to the outside. So this game was a tale of two halves. Let's start with the second half because that's the one where the Celtics actually won the game.
Right.
So they come out pretty strong at the beginning of the third quarter. Mario Chalmers suffers a brutal foot injury that it's not 100% clear what it is as of recording, but it looks like his season's probably over. The Celtics just come out of that on fire. They go on a massive run. They open up a 19-point lead at one point. I think their biggest lead, so they got to a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter, but they just destroyed the Memphis Grizzlies in the second half of that third quarter. What happened?
Isaiah Thomas. I mean, I know it sounds as simple as that, but I feel like Isaiah Thomas was a guy that Memphis just didn't have an answer for. I mean, you talk about a team that's been, without their key guys, their big three, so to speak. No Zach Randolph, no Mike Conley, no Marc Gasol. Gasol's out for the season. So when you have someone like Mike Conley out, who's essentially your best backcourt defender, you're always going to be in trouble. And then for Isaiah Thomas to go off and have no one to retaliate against that, I feel like that was a big reason why the Celtics were able to get out and going. Their fast break was another big thing, which has obviously been their bread and butter the entire season. So I feel like that third quarter was huge. I mean, when you have someone like Isaiah Thomas who outscores your entire team 16-12, I mean, you're going to feel defeated going into the fourth quarter. And then into the fourth, the Celtics didn't stop the breaks. They didn't press the brakes, excuse me.
I mean, the Grizzlies, they had 17 turnovers through three quarters. I mean, that was a disaster of a game at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as great as Lance Stevenson running point was, as far as watching it as a basketball fan, that was incredible. Tony Allen trying to run point. Matt Barnes being a scorer, which was really interesting to watch. He actually had one incredible floater that I was shocked that he hit.
Yeah,
but it was a really weird kind of, the Grizzlies were just grasping for straws in the third quarter. Yeah. And the Celtics pounced. And it was because Brad Stevens at halftime told them very simply, get in the game or go home. You're not going to win if you don't play hard. And they played their asses off in the third quarter.
Right, they did. And they stopped getting out-rebounded. They were fighting more for the loose balls. They were showing their side of aggressiveness that we've seen throughout the entire season. I just feel like this team is a second-half team. I mean, whether they're up by a lot or down by a lot going into that going into that halftime, they always seem to turn it on in the second half, and that was the same case tonight.
But in the fourth quarter, they went 7 for 11 from downtown. I can't believe that. It would have been a pretty good game if they were able to do that. But for an entire fourth quarter, and that was a quarter in which they had the the rookies out there with Tyler Zeller, which is the true garbage time lineup for this
Right.
team.
Right.
Second time they've ever brought that lineup out.
That's right.
But they actually, RJ Hunter hit a big three on what was a play where pretty much all the rookies made a crucial play on that one. I mean, you had everybody contributing tonight, and they're actually hitting their threes, which is something that they just haven't done that well for most of the season. They're a team that takes a ton of threes, but they don't hit a lot of threes. Big for them tonight to actually have them go down.
Especially when they weren't necessarily going down in the first half. I mean, they really turned it on in the second half. And this is a team that's not afraid to take those threes, you know? Look at someone like Jonas Jerebko, who, you know, Jared Salinger was sort of on limited minutes with the skin infection, you know, that brought him into the locker room like midway through the fourth quarter. And here comes Jerebko to the rescue, hitting 2 big threes, playing great defense down the stretch, you know, playing solid defense down low. I feel like this is the team that this team continues to show is depth, you know, every single night, and that was the case tonight.
That's exactly what Brad Stevens talked about. We'll hear more from that after we go to the grandstand play of the game. Grandstand for fans in the stands. Get all the videos you need of the game from the fans' point of view on the Grandstand app. Download Grandstand in the App Store or at clnsradio.com/grandstand app. Let's go to that play.
In the second half, that was so dramatic.
Now that we started at a different pace than we had shown in the first half. We had our moments in the first half, but it just wasn't consistent enough. And then, you know, obviously I think our depth wore on them. You know, they're not very deep right now. And then when Chalmers went down, it takes a ball handler out of it. And that was probably the difference in the game, that we played a lot better at the start of the third quarter, but then our depth won out.